Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to SageAdvice. I'm so happy you're here today. I hope you're feeling while staying healthy and finding a little peace in your day. Before we begin, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I always love reading your messages and seeing friends joining us from the UK, Canada, Pakistan, India, the United States, and so many wonderful places around the world. It truly feels like we're one big family. I always like to ask one simple question. How are you feeling today? Have you taken a short walk, eaten something nourishing, stayed hydrated, or taken a moment to smile? After 60 or 70, our greatest treasure isn't money or possessions. It's our health, our peace of mind, and the joy we find in each new day. If you've done even one kind thing for yourself today, you're already moving in the right direction. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your continued support. Your kind comments, likes, and encouragement inspire me every single day. And if you're joining us for the first time, a warm welcome to SageAdvice. This is a peaceful place where seniors can find practical wisdom, thoughtful conversations, and encouragement for living a happier, healthier, and more meaningful life after 60 and beyond. If you enjoy these videos, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our weekly discussions, designed to help you make the most of your golden years. Now let's talk about something that becomes clearer with age. As the years pass, we begin to understand that many of the things we once worried about simply aren't worth carrying anymore. When we were younger, we often cared about other people's opinions, appearances, possessions, and trying to meet everyone's expectations. But after 70, life has a beautiful way of teaching us that peace matters more than pride, and happiness is far more valuable than perfection. Today, I'd like to share 7 things that no longer matter after 70. These are the worries that quietly steal our peace, and once we let them go, life becomes lighter, freer, and much more joyful. Some of these may surprise you, and others may make you smile and think, that's exactly how I feel. By the end of this video, I hope you'll feel a little calmer and a little more grateful for the beautiful season of life you're living. So grab your favorite cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's begin this gentle journey together. Because life after 70 isn't the end of the story, it's the beginning of a deeper kind of peace. Let's begin with the very first thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70. And I think many of you will agree with me on this. Thing number 1, what people think of you. My dear friends, let's start with something that steals peace from many people: worrying about what others think of us. For most of our lives, we try to please everyone. We wanted to be seen as good, successful, kind, or respectable. We spent energy trying to make everyone happy, our relatives, neighbors, even strangers. But after 70, you realize something powerful. It really doesn't matter anymore what people think of you. Think about it. When you were young, you worried if people would judge your clothes, your house, your children, or even your choices. You tried so hard to fit in. But today, at this stage of life, you start to see that most of those opinions were never that important. People will always talk. It's what they do. But their words come and go like the wind. They forget what they said, but sometimes we keep carrying those words in our hearts. And that, my friends, is what truly hurts us. After 70, you've earned the right to live peacefully, not to seek approval. You've raised families, worked hard, loved deeply, and made sacrifices that most people will never even know about. You don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. And let me tell you a truth. Most people aren't even thinking about you as much as you believe. They're too busy worrying about their own lives, their own problems, and their own image. So why carry their opinions on your shoulders? Let me share a small story. There was an old man walking with his grandson and a donkey. As they walked, one person said, "Look at that foolish old man walking while the donkey is empty." So the old man sat on the donkey. A little later, someone else said, "Poor child. The old man is riding while the boy has to walk." So the old man got off and let the boy ride instead. Then another person said, "What a lazy boy. He rides while his old grandfather walks." So finally, both of them sat on the donkey together. And another man shouted, "Cruel people. They're overloading the poor animal." No matter what they did, someone always had something to say. So the old man smiled and told his grandson, "My child, no matter what you do, people will always talk. So just do what feels right in your heart." And that's the truth of life at 70, 80, or even 90. My dear friends, peace begins when you stop living for other people's opinions. You don't need to wear what others like. live where they approve, or act how they expect. Just be comfortable, kind, and true to yourself. If you want to sit quietly in your garden with a cup of tea, do it. If you want to wear simple clothes, wear them. If you want to rest, travel, or say no to something, say it with peace. At this age, you're not here to impress. You're here to express your heart's truth. Remember this beautiful saying: what others think of me is none of my business. People's opinions don't define you. Your heart, your intentions, and your kindness, that's who you are. You've lived enough to know what truly matters: health, peace, and gratitude. Everything else is just noise. So from today, promise yourself something. You will stop worrying about what others think of you. You will live your remaining years freely, calmly, and peacefully, because your life is your story, not anyone else's opinion. Smile when you want to, speak when you need to, and walk proudly, knowing you've done your best in this world. Because the truth is, when you stop caring what others think, you finally start living for yourself. Now that we've let go of other people's opinions, let's move to the next thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70. And that's material possessions, the things we own that we once thought defined us. Thing number 2, material possessions. My dear friends, the second thing that doesn't matter much after 70 is material possessions. All the things we once worked so hard for, the houses, the furniture, the cars, the jewelry, the clothes, they just don't hold the same value anymore. When we were younger, life felt like a race. Earn more, buy more, collect more, achieve more. We believed happiness lived in those shiny things. But as time goes on, you realize happiness was never in the things. It was always in the moments. After 70, the heart starts to see clearly that less is more. A small, clean home filled with peace is far better than a big house full of worry. A few clothes that make you comfortable are worth more than a wardrobe that collects dust. You see, my friends, the more we own, the more those things start to own us. We spend energy maintaining them, cleaning them, guarding them, and sometimes even fighting over them. But when we begin to let go of unnecessary things, life feels so light, like a gentle breeze after a long, heavy rain. I remember an elderly friend of mine, Uncle Kareem. He once had a big house full of things: antique clocks, old paintings, and expensive furniture. But as he grew older, he said something very wise. I spent my youth buying things, and now I spend my old age trying to give them away. He started donating, gifting, and simplifying. He told me, Jamal, peace doesn't live in these objects. It lives in empty space, in clean corners, in free shelves, and in a quiet mind. And truly, when you visited his home later, it felt peaceful. There was space to breathe, light to see, and calm in every corner. After 70, what we truly need is not more. It's less. Less clutter, fewer worries, and fewer responsibilities. We don't need 5 sets of dishes or dozens of decorations. We need comfort, cleanliness, and calm surroundings. When you start giving away the things you don't need anymore, you're not losing anything. You're actually freeing yourself. You make space for peace, and you allow others to use what once just sat on a shelf. You know, when we leave this world, we don't take anything with us. Not our clothes, not our money, and not our possessions. But what stays behind is how we made people feel, our kindness, our love, and our memories. That's the only treasure that never fades. So instead of worrying about things, worry about moments. The laughter you share with your grandchildren, the tea you sip in the morning sun, the prayers you whisper at night. Those are the real riches of life. If you're listening right now, I want to gently challenge you. Take one small step this week. Open a cupboard or a drawer and remove one thing you don't use anymore. Give it to someone who might need it. You'll be surprised how light your heart feels afterward. Because the truth is, when we simplify our homes, we simplify our minds. And in old age, a peaceful mind is worth more than all the gold in the world. My dear friends, remember this. At this age, your comfort matters more than your collection. Your peace matters more than your possessions. And your memories are far more precious than anything you could ever buy. So let go of what you don't need and hold on tightly to what truly matters: love, health, laughter, and peace. Now that we've talked about letting go of material things, let's move to the next point. Another thing that stops mattering after 70 is competing with others. Because at this stage of life, comparison only steals our joy. Thing number 3, competing with others. My dear friends, the third thing that doesn't matter anymore. After 70 is competing with others. When we were younger, competition was everywhere. In school, at work, in the neighborhood, and even within families. We compared jobs, houses, children, cars, and achievements. We wanted to be ahead to show we were doing well. But now, after 70, you realize something very deep. There is no race anymore. And even if there was, you've already run yours beautifully. At this stage of life, there's no need to compare. Everyone's journey is different. Some people walk fast. Some walk slowly. Some climb mountains. Others enjoy the garden path. And that's okay. When you compare your life to others, you forget how blessed your own life already is. Maybe you don't have as much money as someone else, but maybe you have peace, a caring family, or good health. And those things are priceless. I remember once, years ago, two old friends met at a tea shop after many years. One had lived in a big city. The other had lived in a small village. The city friend said proudly, "I've worked all my life. I have 3 houses, a new car, and my children live abroad." The village friend smiled and said, "That's wonderful. I have only one small house, but I see my children every day, and I sleep peacefully every night." The city friend paused for a moment and said quietly, "You know, I have all those things, but I don't sleep as peacefully as you." And that's the truth, my friends. Success looks different to everyone, but peace feels the same to all. After 70, life is no longer about proving something. It's about enjoying something. The time for competition is over. Now is the time for contentment. If your neighbor bought a new car, be happy for them. If your friend's children are more successful, bless them. You don't need to compare because your blessings are your own. The real victory in old age is not being ahead of anyone. It's being at peace with yourself. Let me tell you something that took me years to understand. When you stop competing, you start living. You begin to notice the small joys again. The sound of birds in the morning, the laughter of your grandchildren, the warmth of sunlight on your face. These simple things are life's quiet rewards. You don't have to earn them. You just have to appreciate them. Remember, nobody remembers who was richer, faster, or more successful in the end. People remember who was kind, who was peaceful, and who made them smile. So, my dear friends, let go of comparison. Don't look at what others have. Look at what you already hold in your heart. If you can eat, sleep, and smile without worry, you are already winning. Be proud of the life you've lived. You've worked, you've given, and you've loved. That's success in its purest form. After 70, you realize there is no competition, only connection. Life is not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. And if today you are a little kinder, a little calmer, and a little more grateful than before, then, my friend, you're doing perfectly fine. Now, we've talked about letting go of comparison and competition. Let's move to the next important truth. Something that holds many people back, even at this age. Regretting the past. Because after 70, regret only steals today's peace, and we must not let it. Thing number 4, regretting the past. My dear friends, the fourth thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70 is regretting the past. Every one of us has a past filled with both beautiful memories and painful moments. We've all made mistakes, said things we wish we hadn't, trusted people we shouldn't have, or made decisions that didn't turn out the way we hoped. But after 70, regret serves no purpose. Because what's gone is gone, and the only thing that truly matters now is today. Many seniors I talk to often say, "If only I had done this differently," or "I wish I could go back and fix that." But, my dear friends, let me ask you something. Even if you could go back, would you really want to? Because the truth is, every choice you made, every mistake you went through, and every heartbreak you survived, it all shaped you into the wise, kind, and strong person you are today. Let me tell you a small story. There was once an old gardener named Isef. He had planted hundreds of trees over his lifetime. But one day, he looked at a tree that didn't grow the way he wanted. Its trunk bent slightly, and it leaned to one side. He sighed and said, "If only I had tied it straight when it was young." A young man nearby heard him and said, "But, uncle, it gives such lovely shade now. It may not be straight, but it still gives comfort to everyone who sits beneath it." Isef smiled and realized the tree didn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. And neither do we. Our lives might have a few bends, but they still give shade to those around us. My dear friends, we often look back at our lives with guilt or sadness. But instead of regret, we should look back with gratitude. Because even the painful chapters taught us something. They made us patient, wise, and humble. And now, when someone younger makes the same mistakes, we can gently guide them because we've been there. Regret keeps you stuck in the past, but gratitude brings you peace in the present. Here's something I always remind myself. You did your best with the knowledge and strength you had at that time. You didn't know what you know now. You made choices based on what your heart felt was right then. And that's okay. That's what living is, learning, falling, and growing. If you ever find yourself thinking, I wish I had treated someone better, then treat someone better today. If you regret not saying, I love you, enough, say it now. It's never too late to show love. Life always gives us small chances to make peace. Not with the past, but within ourselves. So, my friends, I want you to promise me something right now. Stop punishing yourself for old mistakes. Stop saying, I should have, and start saying, I will. You will live peacefully now. You will forgive yourself. You will be kind to yourself because you deserve peace in your golden years. Remember, the past is a classroom, not a prison. You've already learned the lessons. Now it's time to live freely. After 70, what matters is not what went wrong, but what you can still make right today. You can still smile, forgive, call an old friend, or thank someone you once took for granted. And in doing so, you'll realize peace doesn't come from changing the past. It comes from accepting it. So, my dear friends, let the past rest. You've lived it, learned from it, and now it's time to enjoy the present, because that's where life still blooms. Now that we've let go of regret, let's move to the next thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70, and that is trying to impress others. Because after all these years, it's time to live for yourself, not for anyone's approval. Thing number 5, impressing people. My dear friends, the 5th thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70 is impressing people. When we were younger, so much of our life was about showing. Showing success, showing happiness, showing that everything was fine. We cared about what we wore, how our house looked, and what others thought of our family. But after 70, life gently teaches us something. You no longer need to impress anyone. At this age, you don't need to prove that you're smart, strong, or stylish. You don't need to wear fancy clothes to look valuable or pretend to be happy to seem strong. Your worth isn't in what people see. It's in what your heart carries. You've lived through storms and sunshine. You've worked, raised children, faced challenges, and kept going. And that, my friends, is more impressive than any expensive watch or car. Let me tell you a small story. There was an elderly lady named Amina who always dressed simply. A plain dress, simple shoes, and a soft smile. One day, a younger woman said to her, Auntie, why don't you wear nice jewelry or makeup like others? You'd look more impressive. Amina smiled and said gently, My dear, I don't dress to impress anymore. I dress to feel comfortable. I've already spent years trying to look right for others. Now I just want to feel right inside. That line stayed with me. I don't dress to impress. I dress to feel comfortable. Because that's what peace looks like after 70. Not trying to impress, but simply being yourself. When we try to impress others, we often lose a piece of ourselves. We say yes when we want to say no. We hide our true feelings just to look strong. But now, my friends, you have the freedom to be real. And that's far more beautiful. You can be quiet if you wish. Simple if you want. Slow if you need. You don't owe anyone an explanation for who you are or how you live. Because the people who truly care about you don't need you to impress them. They love you just as you are, with your wrinkles, your wisdom, and your beautiful heart. After 70, peace means comfort. You don't need to keep up with trends or worry about what others are buying or wearing. All that matters is how you feel inside your mind and inside your soul. If you want to wear your old sweater, wear it proudly. If you want to stay home and enjoy tea instead of attending a party, that's perfectly fine. You've earned this stage of life. Live it on your own terms. There's a saying I love. Being at peace with yourself is the greatest look you can wear. And truly, a peaceful face is more beautiful than any makeup or fashion. My dear friends, stop trying to impress and start expressing. Express your kindness, your wisdom, your true self. Be the calm presence others feel safe around. If someone likes you, wonderful. If they don't, that's okay too. You don't need to perform anymore. You just need to be. Remember this. You've already proven enough in this life. Now it's time to enjoy the rewards. Don't waste even one more day trying to impress people who aren't thinking about you. Live quietly, live gently, live truthfully. because that's the kind of life that truly shines. Now that we've let go of the need to impress others, let's talk about something closely related. The next thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70 is chasing perfection, because life doesn't have to be perfect to be peaceful. Thing number 6, chasing perfection. My dear friends, the sixth thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70 is chasing perfection. All our lives, we've tried to make everything just right. The perfect home, perfect children, the perfect body, the perfect marriage, the perfect image. My dear friends, the seventh and final thing that doesn't matter anymore after 70 is worrying about the future. When we were younger, we spent so much time thinking about tomorrow. What will happen to me? Will my children be okay? What if my health gets worse? What if I become a burden? Our minds were always busy with what ifs. But after 70, we begin to see clearly. The future is not in our hands. And that's perfectly all right. At this stage of life, worrying about the future only takes away today's peace. And peace, my friends, is the most precious thing we have left. When you wake up each morning, that's already a blessing. When you can move, eat, and smile, that's the present moment saying, you are still here, live today. The truth is, no one, not even the youngest or richest, knows what tomorrow holds. So why spend your beautiful remaining days worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet? Let me tell you about an old man named Ahmed. Every morning, he would sit on his porch with a cup of tea and watch the sunrise. One day, someone asked him, Uncle Ahmed, don't you ever worry about what will happen next year or next month? He smiled and said, My child, I used to worry about tomorrow my whole life. But tomorrow always came and went. Now I only think about today because today is the only day I can truly live. That's the wisdom of age. Understanding that peace comes when you live now, not later. After 70, life becomes more peaceful when you stop trying to control everything. Let the future unfold naturally. If your health changes, accept it with patience. If life slows down, embrace the calm. If tomorrow brings something new, face it when it comes, not before. Worrying will never change the future. It will only ruin the beauty of this moment. My dear friends, peace doesn't come from knowing what will happen. It comes from trusting that whatever happens, you will handle it with grace. You faced many storms before. You survived them all. And you'll face whatever comes next with the same courage, the same faith, and the same heart. There's a saying I love. Do not worry about tomorrow. Each day has enough blessings of its own. And it's true. Each morning you wake up, thank the one who gave you another day. Use it kindly. Smile more. Forgive more. Rest more. That is how you truly live after 70. So, my friends, from today, stop worrying about what's next. Stop saying, what if? And start saying, even if. Even if life slows down, I will stay peaceful. Even if tomorrow brings challenges, I will stay thankful. Because every day I wake up is already a gift from God. Enjoy your tea slowly. Watch the sunset. Talk to your loved ones. That is the future you deserve. Calm, gentle, and full of gratitude. After 70, the best future you can have is a peaceful present. Don't let your mind live in tomorrow. Bring it home to today. Smile and say to yourself, I've lived, I've learned, and now I'll simply live in peace. Because, my dear friends, peace is not found in the future. Peace is found in this moment, right now. Now, my dear friends, we've reached the end of our list. We've talked about 7 things that don't matter anymore after 70. But before we finish, I'd like to leave you with a few heartfelt thoughts. A few final words of wisdom, peace, and gratitude. My dear friends, we've come to the end of today's beautiful conversation. Let's take a quiet moment to reflect on everything we've shared together. After 70, life isn't about chasing, proving, or worrying anymore. It's about living peacefully, loving deeply, and letting go gently. Today, we learned that these things no longer deserve to steal our peace. 1. What people think of you, because peace is worth more than opinions. 2. Material possessions, because joy comes from moments, not things. 3. Competing with others, because you've already run your race beautifully. 4. Regretting the past, because every mistake was a lesson, not a loss. 5. Impressing people, because comfort and truth matter more than appearances. 6. Chasing perfection, because real beauty is found in what is genuine and imperfect. 7. Worrying about the future, because peace lives only in today. Each one of these lessons reminds us that growing older isn't about losing. It's about gaining something even more valuable: peace of mind. My dear friends, I want you to remember this with all your heart. At this stage of life, you owe no one anything except kindness. You've worked enough. You've given enough. You've proven enough. Now it's time to live for yourself. Laugh more, rest more, and treasure the simple joys that make life beautiful. Look around you. The sunrise, the sound of birds singing, a warm cup of tea, a quiet evening breeze. These little moments are life's greatest treasures. So don't let unnecessary worries steal your peace. Live gently, live gratefully, one day at a time. I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for spending your time with me today. Whenever I read your comments, I feel as though I'm talking with my own family, brothers, sisters, uncles, and aunties from all around the world. We are one warm and caring community here at Sage Advice. If today's message touched your heart or gave you a new way of looking at life, please give this video a like and share it with another senior who may need these gentle reminders. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Sage Advice and turn on the notification bell. Every week, we share thoughtful wisdom, practical advice, and heartwarming conversations to help you enjoy a more peaceful, healthier, and happier life in your golden years. Before we say goodbye, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Peace doesn't come from having everything. It comes from knowing you've lived enough, loved enough, and learned enough. So, my dear friends, live lightly, smile often, forgive quickly, and thank God every day. You've already won the most important race, the race of life. Take good care of your health, your heart, and your peace. And always remember, you are never alone. You are a valued part of the Sage Advice family. Thank you so much for watching. May your days be filled with calm mornings, kind people, good health, and warm smiles. Until next time, stay peaceful, stay wise, and stay blessed.